Start. Namaskar to all of you, and I welcome you to this Sunday. Sir, just give me that. I welcome you to this Sunday, Sunday program today, which is our weekly program. My apologies for we're delayed by about 10 minutes. My apologies for that. Because there is rain and the roads are a little slippery. There is fog all around, so it's difficult driving. So we got a little late. We are about to start with Abhishekam to Lord Ganesha, and then at about 11:10 we are having a discourse by Shishagiri Rao ji, and the title of today's discourse is Atma Nivedan. It's a very beautiful topic on which he will be talking, and please listen to it. It will start at 11:10, and then we are going to have Archana to Lord Ganesha and Mahamangalarti. So those are the key programs for today. So I'll announce the other programs later. So let's start. Thank you.
वेंकटसाभिषेकाश्वमीनाम्याः जम्बुवर्षवत्वादोषार्थे जगपतेरिकाशिवा जगन्नाथमदेश्य सुगोत्रादोषा वीरभद्रभद्रति अमृतानाम्या प्रिया प्रधानप्रमदेश्य धनञ्जयगोत्रावसा सत्यनारायणप्रातनागुणराधुनादेश्य दुरात्मयोगोत्सव देवात्सरायकालपालसरस्वतीनाम्याः वर्षगोत्रादोषा शिरान्यशर्मा भानुमतीनाम्याः सूर्यनारायण शर्मा सुब्रह्मण्य शर्मा नारायण शर्मा नवदेश्य वलिष्ठगोत्रादोषा श्रीधर वासवती ममतानाम्याः श्रेया सतीतनवदेश्य कन्नडगोत्रादोषा मंगलनाथ भद्रराज पल्लवीनाम्याः आदिति अभिनव सुजाता देवी नाम्याः दर्शगोत्रादोषा भास्कर परामर्शमानाम्याः कार्तिकन्य वीरलीला आम्नाम्याः भारद्वाजगोत्रदोषा माधुरा गोविंदराजोषानाम्याः मुद्रागोत्रादोषा श्रीनिवास गोत्रादोषानाम्याः सिद्धार्थादित्यनवदेश्य बादरायणगोत्रदोषा गिरिधरप्रशोत्तमातङ्गिनाम्याः सोमानाम्याः शनिकलगोत्रादोषा गोवर्धन रेड्डी बब्बाला सुप्रदानाम्याः आध्यानाम्याः यालागोत्रादोषा सुपर्देवीनवदेश्य अनुपमानाम्याः अष्टमानस्याः गोत्रोद्भवस्य ओम श्रीवत्सगोत्रोद्भवस्य राजेश वेंकटेश नामदेश्य रेखा नाम्याः हस्ताक्षत्रस्य राहुल नामदेश्य जयकृष्ण नामदेश्य प्रिया नाम्याः अश्विन नामदेश्य अपर्णा प्रभाकर नामदेश्य इंद्रा प्रसाद नामदेश्य सह कुटुंबानां सर्वेषां समस्त भक्तमहाजनानां आयुरारोग्यैश्वर्याभयसम्पन्नस्मिन् महागणाधिपतिं महागणपतये नमः सफल पूजा
नमः पार्वतीपतये तदङ्गकलश आराधनं करिष्ये अम्बपूर्णकलशमादाय ॐ आकृते शुधावते पवित्रे परिशुद्धते विद्धे रक्षेषु पच्यते आपोवायदकं सर्वं विस्मभूतान्यापः प्राणाप आपः विश्वापोन्नवापो अमृतमापसङ्गाडापो विराडापः स्वराडापचन्दाक्षियापो ज्योतिर्विष्यापो निजोष्यापः सत्यमाप सर्वदेवताः आपो भूर्भवस्वरापमो गंगादि सर्वदेवताभ्यो नमः तच्चलेन पूजा द्रव्याणि सम्प्रोक्षयेतु देवो देवेमो आत्मानं च सम्प्रोक्षयेतु शुचि भवः सुदरीकाक्षाय नमः
शङ्खमूले परब्रह्मावाहयामि शङ्काग्रे सरस्वतीमावाहयामि गङ्गे वरुणमावाहयामि श्रीवारा गायत्री मन्त्रपदं कृत्वा
ॐ भवस्वः तत्सवितर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
यायानः प्रचोदयात्
ॐ भवस्वः तत्सवितर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
यायानः प्रचोदयात्
ॐ भवस्वः तत्सवितर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
यायानः प्रचोदयात्
ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि
अन्नादन्ति प्रचोदयात्
पाञ्चजन्याय विद्महे पावमानाय धीमहि
शङ्खं प्रचोदयात्
ॐ सुधी भवः
दैताक्षाय नमः
सुदरीकाक्षाय नमः
महागणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि
तन्नो प्रचोदयात्
पुरुषाय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि
तन्नो प्रचोदयात्
महागणपतये नमः ध्यानं समर्पयामि
गणेशाय नमः आवाहनं समर्पयामि
आसनं समर्पयामि
आद्यं समर्पयामि
तयोः अग्निं समर्पयामि
आचमनीयं समर्पयामि
शुद्धोदकस्नानं
नमः पार्वतीपतये
नमो इष्ठामयोपवस्थानमूर्धे
गणेश महाराज की ओम पार्वती पतये संगते
क्षीरेण स्नपयामि
ॐ आप्यायस्नेति मन्त्रेण
आप्याय ससमेतते विश्वतः समरश्मिम्
भवावाजस्य संगते
शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रणपतपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लम्भोदराय एकदन्ताय
विनाशाय शिवसदाय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः
मोदकस्नानं समर्पयामि नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव गणेश महाराज की ॐ जनिकावन्नागारिषं
जिष्णोरस्वस्य वाजिनः
विनायकं शतारिषदो
स्थापयामि
ॐ जलिस्नानं समर्पयामि
जनिकावरुणाकारं जिष्णोरस्वस्य वाजिनः
सुरभिनामकाकरत्प्रणायकं शतारिषदो
दधिस्नानं समर्पयामि दधिस्नानानन्तरे शुद्धोदकस्नानः
ॐ शान्तस्यान्तिः
आद्यामरो शर्करोदकस्नानं
महागणाधिपतये नमः
हर महादेव
ॐ महागणाधिपतये नमः शुक्रवसै ज्योतिर्षिते ज्योतिः
देववत्सविदात्मनः
पवित्रेण पवित्रेण वसा सूर्यस्य रश्मिभिः
आद्येन स्तवयामि
ॐ मधुवातरताय देवदक्षरन्ति सिन्धवः
आद्येर्नः सन्दोषसति
मधुरत्नमदाशशैवतवत्माध्यभगं रजः
आद्यौरस्वरर्पितः मधुमान्नो वनस्पतिर्मधुर्महगमस्तसूर्यः
आत्मीयेर्गावो भवन्तु नः
स्तवयामि स्वादपवत्सदिव्याय जन्वने
स्वादुरिन्द्राय सह वेतुनाम्ने
स्वाधर्मित्राय वरुणाय वायुवे
बृहस्पतये मधुवागुम् अधाभ्यः
चक्रोदकेरस्तवयामि
इति पञ्चामृतस्नानं समर्पयामि
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ स्नानानन्तरे शुद्धाचमनीयं समर्पयामि
आपोष्ठामया भुवस्तानवूर्ध्वे ददादना
हेरणाय चक्षुषे
शिवतमोरतः तस्य वादयते नः
ऋषिर्वमातरः
स्मारङ्गमहमवो यत्तत्क्रियाय जन्मदा आपो जनयदाधनः
ॐ गन्धद्वारान्दुरादर्शां विद्यपुष्णां गणेशनीम् महागणाधिपतये नमः ॐ स्नानानन्तरे शुद्धाचमनीयं समर्पयामि
पुष्पं वेद
पुष्पवान् प्रियवान् पशुवान् भवति पुष्पवान् प्रियवान् पशुवान् भवति
पुष्पोदकस्नानं समर्पयामि
श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः
स्नानानन्तरे शुद्धोदकस्नानं
त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम्
मृत्योर्मोक्षे मामृतादो
श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः
शुद्धोदकस्नानं समर्पयामि
ॐ अक्षतान् विमलान् दिव्यान् शालिमान् कण्डलान् शुभान् महागणाधिपतये नमः सुगन्धपन्दामभयं गृणातु यस्मिन् नक्षत्रे मेति राजः यस्मिन्नेनमभ्यसञ्जन्त देवाः तदस्य यत्रगं हविषा विजाम महागणाधिपतये नमः सुगन्धोदकस्नानं समर्पयामि
पुष्पाहयश्च पुष्पणीः
बृहस्पति प्रचोदयास्तानमुञ्जन्त्वगुं
योधकेन स्नपयामि
ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः
योधकस्नानं समर्पयामि
ॐ सहस्रशीर्षः पुरुषः
सहस्राक्षः सहस्रवान्
भोगं विश्वतो वृत्वा वेदं सर्वं
यद्भूतं यच्छतव्यम्
उदाम्बुरदत्तस्येषाणः एतावानस्य महिमा पादास्य विश्वाभूतानि त्रिमागोद्भवदेत् पुरुषः तथा विश्वं जग्रामतो
महत्पूषः
प्रजातो अत्यरिच्यते
साक्षाद्भूमिमतो पुरः
यत्पुरुषेण हविषा
देवायज्ञमतर्वथा
सन्तो अस्य सीदाद्यम्
विष्णुर्मः शरद्भविः
सप्तास्य संवरिदयः
सप्तसमिधकृता
देवायज्ञं तन्वानः
भाग्यं पुरुषं वशं
तं यज्ञं बर्हणे प्रोक्षन्नो
पुरुषं जानमर्दः
तेन देवाय यजन्त
ऋषयस्य
तस्मात् यज्ञात् सर्ववृतः
प्रथम वृषदाज्यं
वसागस्तागस्यग्रे वायव्यानो
आरण्यां ग्राम्याश्च ये
तस्मात् यज्ञात् सर्ववृतः
रजस्सामानिजगृहे
छन्दांसि जग्रे तस्मादो
तस्मादघायता
तस्मादस्म अजायन्त
केशभयादतः
रामः जग्रे तस्मादो
आज्ञाता अधावयः
यत्पुरुषं व्यदधुः
कालिका व्यकल्पयन्
मुदङ्गमस्य गो बाहू
बाहूरो बालाविक्षयने
ब्राह्मणस्य मुखमासीत्
बाहूराजन्यकृतः
पूर्वं तदस्य यद्वयस्यः
भावं शूद्रो अधावयः
चन्द्रमा मनसो जातः
चक्षुर्सूर्यो अगायत
मुखा इन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च
प्राणाद्भायुरजायत
नाभ्य आसीदन्तरिक्षम्
कृष्णार्थौ समवर्धत
अभ्यां भूमिर्षस्तोत्रादो
लोकामकल्पयन्
वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तम्
आदित्यवरनन्दमदस्तु पारे
सर्वाणि रूपाणि विचित्य धीरः
नामानि शुक्लानि अद्वदं निरास्ते
ॐ भावापुरस्ताद्यमुदाजहार
प्रविद्वान् प्रदिशश्च तस्रः
तमेकं विद्वानमृताय न भवति
ज्ञानस्वन्था अजगाय विद्यते
ॐ यज्ञेन यज्ञमयं ददेवाः
धर्मानुन्नतमान्यासन्
देहनाकुं महिमानः सजन्ते
प्रभोर्वे साक्षासन्ति देवाः
अभ्यः सम्भोधपृथिव्येरसाश्च
विश्वकर्मणश्रमवत्सदादि
तस्य ध्वस्ता विदधाध्रूपवेदी
विश्वमाधारमध्ये
वेदाहमेकं पुरुषं महान्तम्
आदित्यवर्णं तमसं परस्तात्
तमेवं विद्वानमृताय भवति
ज्ञान्यः पन्था विद्यते यनाय
प्रजापतिश्चरति गर्भेऽन्दः
जायमानो बहुधा विजायते
तस्य धीराः परिजानं तयोनिम्
मन्त्रिज्ञापुरवृत्तं विवेदः
यो नो देवेभ्यः दपति
पुरोहितः
पूर्वाय देवेभ्यो जातः
महारुषाय ब्राह्मये
ऋचं ब्राह्मं जनयन्तः
अग्रे ददब्रुवन्
यस्त्वैवं ब्राह्मणा विद्यादो
तस्यैवा संस्कृते
श्रेश्च ते लक्ष्मीश्च पत्न्यो नक्षत्राणि रूपम्
अश्विनो व्याप्तम्
इष्टं मनिषाणाम् सर्वं मनिषाणाम् गातुं यज्ञाय दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः ऊर्ध्वं च गातु भेषजम् सञ्जलुष्मदे ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः शरीरङ्गैस्तुष्टवान्तस्तनोभिः स्वस्ति न इन्द्र वृद्धस्रवाः स्वस्ति नस्तानिषादरिष्टदेवीः ॐ सां तस्यां देहि ॐ सहनौ भुनक्तु तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ तन्नो मित्रस्य वरुणः त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तत्त्वज्ञानवादिशम् आविर्भक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः हर हर नमः पार्वतीपतये श्रीगंधं समर्पयामि कुंकुमं शोभनं दिव्यं नाना अलंकारण भूषणं प्रसन्न महागणाधिपतये नमः पुष्पमानि समर्पयामि
ॐ गन्धद्वारान्दरादर्शां नित्यपुष्टां
ईश्वरीं सर्वभूतानां दामिमोपमये श्रियं
गन्धं समर्पयामि
ॐ भस्मलेपनं समर्पयामि त्र्यम्बकं विजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम्
पूर्वारुकमिव बन्धनानि मृत्योर्मोक्षेणात्
श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः कुङ्कुमं शोभनं दिव्यं नाना अलङ्कारणभूषणम्
समर्पयामि
गणेशाय नमः पुष्पमालां समर्पयामि दूर्वासपत्राणि समर्पयामि पुष्पैः पूजयामि ॐ सुमुखाय नमः ॐ एकदन्ताय नमः ॐ कपिलाय नमः ॐ गजकर्णिकाय नमः ॐ लम्बोदराय नमः ॐ विकटाय नमः ॐ विघ्नराजाय नमः ॐ धूमकेतवे नमः ॐ गणाध्यक्षाय नमः ॐ पालचन्द्राय नमः ॐ गजाननाय नमः ॐ वक्रतुण्डाय नमः ॐ शूर्पकर्णाय नमः ॐ हिरम्भाय नमः ॐ स्कन्दपूर्वजाय नमः ॐ सर्वसिद्धि प्रदायकाय नमः श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः
पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि
ॐ धूपमाग्रापयामि बोलिए गणेश महाराज की नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव वेंकटरमण गोविंद
We just completed the Abhishekam to Lord Ganesha. Now we are going to move the camera to the other side on Lord Shiva's side, and then you will have a discourse. So go ahead, move the camera, sir. It will take us another 3 minutes to start the discourse, and Sheshagiri Ravji is going to speak from his home. So you'll have be listening to the audio, and while we'll be showing Lord Shiva and Ambal on the video. Ashwin, you want to go? ये निकाल दे ऊपर वाला ये ऊपर वाला ये खाली है okay here open that door. Namaskar to all of you. We just completed the Abhishekam to Lord Ganesha. Now we are going to have a discourse by Sheshagiri Ravji, and he is going to speak from his home on audio due to COVID. So that's why we have moved the camera on Lord Shiva's side, and you'll be listening to him. And there's a very beautiful topic that he's going to talk on today, and that is Atma Nivedan. And he is going to talk on it and listen to it. He's going to give a lot of in-depth insight into the Atma. And after that, he completes the discourse. We are going to have Archana to Lord Ganesha. In the meantime, we will do the Alankaram for the Lord. And then I'll have some of the announcements later after the Archana. Thank you. Move it later. Move it closer.
Yes, start చేసుకోండి. అయ్యా స్టార్ట్ చేసండి.
Namaste. Today I was going to talk about Atma Nivedana. Atma is a difficult word to understand because Atma has so many things in it. And so we will come back to Atma at the end of this nice story which I'm going to tell you today. Nivedana means to samarpan. किसी कुछ समर्पण करना or to give something to the deity or to do something with bhakti to one of the gods, because that's what we do. When someone comes to a temple, they try to give something to the temple. Samarpana karte. So, this particular story is a very interesting story. Please follow me very carefully because this story has a very intertwined meaning in it. A particle of water is anywhere. It could be in a glass of water at home. It could be a water particle in Gangajal. It could be a water particle in the Indian Ocean, Hindu Mahasamudra. It could be there. And there was one such particle of water. This particle of water was traveling in the ocean from one corner to another corner to another corner, and it was coming and coming and coming. It came and saw a shoreline. And when it saw the shoreline, it says, oh, how beautiful this shoreline is. Those big mountains, those cliffs, those things which are there all over. Oh my God, I'm going to be going there, I'm going to be going there. So this particle was very, very happy. And so it went, as it came closer by, he saw that there was big waves of the ocean coming and crashing against the rocks and other things on the shore. But this particle saw all those rocks and everything crashing on the shore. It started worrying. And it started worried that what am I going to do? There's so many things there and I'm going to hit one of those rocks. And what is going to happen to me? And what is going to happen to me? And as it thought about it, the wave, it was a part of a wave which came, hit that big stone, and then it straight and it went back into the ocean. When it back into the ocean, the particular particle suddenly realized that nothing happened to it. It went through a big crashing lifetime, and she thought it's going to die. And nothing happened to it. It was very nice. Then it went back into the ocean. Then what happened to it is this. There was a lot of heat from sun and the atmosphere. And that heat made that particle to convert itself into a semi-light, steam kind of a particle. It is now became a particle which can fly. So it said, oh, now I can fly. I'm going to be very happy. I'm going to fly up into the sky. And as it flew up to the sky, there were so many other particles there in the Hindu Mahasamudra. All of them also joined that particle. They all went up there and started suddenly forming a cloud. And this cloud was very, very light at the beginning, and it had no power of its own, but as more of these particles of water went and joined the cloud, it slowly became a bright white cloud, which we see always and we take photographs of. And then it slowly became a dark, dark cloud. And as it became a dark cloud, it started covering the light which is coming. And it just said, I am very powerful. And this cloud became very large. And it even covered the total of San Antonio in that cloud. And that cloud, when it became that big, suddenly it said, oh, I got positive ions and negative ions. Now we can all turn around and we can rejuvenate. That means they can expand themselves, they can jump up and they can do whatever they want. And they got that freedom. And so suddenly a big lightning came and struck. And another lightning struck. And there was what is called a thunderbolt. A thunderbolt is a lightning which comes and hits the earth. It does not stay up there. And the thunderbolt came. And the thunderbolt came from there right down onto the earth. And it hit a big tree and this and that. And all the people on the earth were saying, oh my God, what is this big storm has come? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And all those particles were still there in that black, dark cloud. And suddenly it rained water. And luckily this particular particle did not become a rain particle. It stayed in the cloud itself. And then suddenly the rain stopped. The cloud still was there. And suddenly there was a beautiful rainbow which came on the earth. And the rainbow had 7 different colors, all kinds of colors. White, green, blue, yellow, big BR, is what they use to say all the 7 colors of the rainbow. And all the colors came. And they slowly, all the flowers and all started opening back. And it was very nice. And there was such a Shyamalam on the earth. That particle was still there. It had that power now. It's no longer in the ocean. No longer worried about the stones there. It had a power in it. With that power, it said, what am I going to do? And there was the sun behind, which covered this particular cloud. Cloud covered the sun. So sunlight was not coming down, but the sun rays were coming onto the edges of the cloud, and the edges of the cloud were glowing like a reddish glow, and they were like gold covering the total thing. And all around the cloud, this reddish glow came. At the bottom, there was another small white cloud which looked like a pendant, and it looked like a beautiful gold ornament there in the sky. There were a lot of people who were taking pictures of it. They were taking all the kinds of things, and they felt very, very good about it. And then what happened? This is what happened. Narada was traveling and he saw sun. And he said, son, what is happening to you? You are so dejected and other things. He says, you don't know, son. I have been seeing myself in that Indian Ocean and I can't even see myself there. And when this cloud kind of a thing moved away, I saw it, and the waves and all are breaking me into pieces, and I'm very scared about this. And Narada said, why are you scared about your pratibimba inside the water? You are still here. No, you don't know, Narada, what I'm saying. Then Narada said, come, see your pratibimba in the Manasa Sarovar. Manasa Sarovar is the calm, white, large lake in Himalayas. And when that sun looked into the Manasa Sarovar and saw his reflection, it was pure, round, happy, no ripples, nothing breaking him up and other things. And Narada saw him and he says, son, shall I tell you something? You are not that which is there in the Hindu Mahasamudra or the Indian Ocean. Nor are you the one who is in the Manasa Sarovar. Manasa Sarovar is a calm thing, and that is. And this whole thing was envisaged by a very great guru. And the guru was amazing guru. His name was Adi Shankaracharya. And Adi Shankaracharya saw the whole thing, and he felt like writing a couplet on what happened. And he wrote a couplet. The couplet is, Bhanu Prabha Sanjinita Abrahma Pankitaha Bhanum Tirodhaya Vijrumate Yatha Atma Uddeta Ahankrutihi Atma Tattvam Taha Tirodhaya Vijrumate Swayam. And this is the one couplet which came into his mind, and he immediately wrote this couplet. What the couplet is talking about is, as the formations of the clouds generated by the sun's rays. See, now when we say, when we are born, we are a bija. We are just a small bija. We are a cell. We are a cell which suddenly got into a mother's womb, and we started growing there, and we became big, and we became bigger and bigger and bigger. And arisen from sun. So sun was the cause for these things to come, this water particulate to become what it became. And so, as the formation of the clouds generated by the sun's rays come to the veil, the very same sun, they cover the sun completely. As the cloud completely covered the sun, that's how it looks. They appear to us as clearly manifest in the sky. They are very clear in the sky. But they have veiled the Creator who is there at the top, which is sun for that particular particle of water. And so too, that's how we human beings have some things which suddenly create this problem. So too, the ego risen from the self. The ego risen from ourselves. Ego is the arrogance. Ego is, we can call it the pride. You can call it anything. Ego is just a three little the letters in English. If you put ego and go into a Sanskrit dictionary and say, please Sanskrit, give me the meanings for ego, there are so many things. Kopam is a ego, it means anger. So is moham. There are all these 10 vikrutas which are there for human beings, which people keep talking. All those vikrutas are all part of ego. And then, not only that, we have got Atma Tattvam, the reality in the self. The reality in the self is we think we are doing everything and we are going through all this happiness and all the problems associated with it, the crashing onto the rocks and breaking up and other things. That is all Atma Tattvam. And Tataha, so too, Virodhaya. This is what happens to a human being, having Virodhaya, having covered, Vijrumbate, it expands itself, it overflows, it just becomes extraordinarily controlling and it expresses itself as you. Now you see, when it expresses itself as you, then what happens? It's just like that small, tiny, little water, which became a cloud, which became a storm, which did all kinds of things and everything. And it also covered the reality which is there behind it. The same way, for us human beings, what happens is our ego, that means I am right all the time, I am the greatest, I know everything, I have read everything, I am the greatest person in the world. But the thing which we don't understand is we have not conquered our ignorance. However much I read Shankaracharya's books or anything, the more older I am getting, the thing which I understand is I am still in ignorance and I don't understand the totality of the whole thing. And that particular thing is the difference between Atma and the other Atma which is there along with it on the side. And the differentiation is told by our elders. My Tata always used to tell me, this Atma is not yours. Atma is yours, but there is what is called a Paramatma. Paramatma, that is God. In each individual particle of the universe, that Paramatma is resident. Just like for this particular particle of water, Surya is a Paramatma. For Surya, there is another Paramatma somewhere. And so that Paramatma is in everything, it pervades everywhere, it's always there. So, the reason why I said I'm going to talk about Atma Nivedana is when we go to a temple, we see God. We see God in a abstract form. He is a upadhi. Upadhi is something where you can concentrate on. And at that particular time, the thing which you got to give to Lord is your Paramatma Nivedana. That means you got to tell the God, I understand. My Atma is there, which is making me do all these things, my samsara. The samsara means not a wife, kids and other things. Samsara means the cycle of birth and death. And I have to get out of this birth and death. So please, Paramatma, I understand the Paramatma in me. Please make it so that I don't have to go through the cycle of birth and death. That is samsara. That is the life of a small particle of water. And we are small particles of a cell which we have grown and came out. That's what this particular story tells us. And we think that everything is an obstruction for us to live. It is not. It is the way of Prakriti. It is a way of creation. Everything which is born has a death written to it. And to get out of that cycle of birth and death, we have to get above ahankritihi, which is ego. And the second thing which you have to get out of is Atma Tattvam. That means we got to understand, when I say Atma, there is not only this Atma which is there in me, which is that small particle which might go out when you are dead, but Atma Tattvam is to understand that that Atma is nothing else but is linked to that Paramatma. And when you see the Atma linkage to Paramatma, then you will go back to Paramatma. So this particular particle which was in the cloud, what happened to it? It came back to, in the rain it came and fell. Luckily it fell on the Himalayas, and somehow that rain, water and all came through in Ganga, and the Ganga brought it back again through all the places and other things, but it had that phenomenal quality of Paramatma Kritihi. Means it knew what it was made of. And so it comes and goes through Ganga, goes back to the ocean. That is the story for today. I hope all of you have enjoyed it. I am a very ignorant person. I don't have very much knowledge about all these things. I read a lot about all these things. So again, to come back and summarize what Shankaracharya has written, as the formation of clouds generated by the sun's rays come to veil the every same sun and appear clearly manifest in the sky, so too the ego risen from the self covers the reality and the self and expresses itself in full manifestation. So when all you get angry with someone and other things, understand this not the real self is expressing itself. Thank you. Namaste. Swasti prajabhyam paripalayantam nyayena margena mahisham go brahmane mastu sukmastu nityam loka samasta sukhina bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithivim sasyashalini desho vabhiyam kshovarahitaha brahmana santu nirbhaya. Om Tassa.
Thank you very much, Sheshagiriji. I really appreciate you for really coming at the acceding to our request at the last minute and then talking on today Atma Niveda. Thank you so much, and God bless you. We are very grateful to you for it. Sheshagiriji, you have always been a great supporter of the temple, and you always come and really pitch in every time, even at the last minute. Thank you so much. So now we will move the camera to the Lord Ganesha side so that we can start Archana. Thank you. We have just completing the Alankaram. Till then we'll put the bhajans on. Keep it in the center and sir, put the bhajan. Huh? You know, Archana is for Venkatesha? It is the same actually. We'll do here and then we'll do here. Alright? Oh, Archana है ना बना? You will do it. Sir, are you together? Both the families are together? Okay, then you stand together. Otherwise, stand separately.
Archana sir.
Anybody for your Archana is already there.
Yes. You can stand up there and tell me. Gotradhavasya.
Deliver Gotra.
भारद्वाजस गोत्रोद्भवस्य कुमारनामधेयस्य श्रवणनक्षत्रोजातस्य भवानी नाम्याः
शास्त्री जी को पीछे.
चित्रानक्षत्रोजातस्य अश्विन नामधेयस्य अश्विनी नक्षत्रोजातस्य सकुटुम्बानां
सजमान्योः वसिष्ठगोत्रोद्भवस्य कृतिका नक्षत्रोजातस्य श्रीकान्तनामधेयस्य वसिष्ठगोत्रोद्भवस्य पुत्रा फल्गुनी नक्षत्रोजातस्य मीना नाम्नीं श्रवणा नक्षत्रोजातस्य अनघा नाम्नीं सह कुटुम्बानाम्. Anybody else?
Anybody?
Okay.
सर्वेषां समस्त भक्तमहाजनानां नमस्तेर्वीर्य आयुरारोग्यैश्वर्यावर्धनम् वरसिद्धिविनायकस्वामिनः महागणाधिपतये नमः. अष्टोत्तरशतनामार्चनपूजां जगदीशैः.
ओम गणेश महाराज की
जय.
ओम विनायकाय नमः. ओम विघ्नराजाय नमः. सिद्धेश्वराय नमः. ओम गणेश्वराय नमः. ओम स्कंदाय नमः. ओम अभयाय नमः. ओम दुर्गाय नमः. ओम दक्षाय नमः. ओम निजप्रियाय नमः. ओम अग्निगर्भचिते नमः. ओम त्रिश्रीप्रदाय नमः. ओम वाणी बलप्रदाय नमः. ओम सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायकाय नमः. ओम सर्वतनयाय नमः. ओम सर्वप्रियाय नमः. ओम सर्वात्मकाय नमः. ओम सृष्टिकर्त्रे नमः. ओम देवादिदार्चिताय नमः. ओम शिवाय नमः. ओम शुद्धाय नमः. ओम बुद्धिप्रियाय नमः. ओम शान्ताय नमः. ओम ब्रह्मचारिणे नमः. ओम गजाननाय नमः. ओम द्वैमातराय नमः. ओम महेश्वराय नमः. ओम भक्तविघ्न विनायकाय नमः. एकदन्ताय नमः. चतुर्बाहुवे नमः. ओम शक्तिसंयुगाय नमः. ओम चतुराय नमः. ओम लम्बोदराय नमः. ओम शूर्पकर्णाय नमः. ओम हेरम्बाय नमः. ओम ब्रह्मवित्तमाय नमः. ओम कालाय नमः. ओम ग्रहपतये नमः. ओम कामने नमः. ओम सोमसूर्याग्नि लोचनाय नमः. ओम पाशाङ्कुशधराय नमः. ओम चण्डाय नमः. ओम गुणातीताय नमः. ओम निरञ्जनाय नमः. ओम अकालमजाय नमः. ओम स्वयं सिद्धार्थितमदाय नमः. ओम बीजापूरकराय नमः. ओम अव्यक्ताय नमः. ओम गजने नमः. ओम वरदाय नमः. ओम शाश्वताय नमः. ओम कृतने नमः. ओम वेद्वत्प्रियाय नमः. ओम वेदभयाय नमः. ओम चक्रणे नमः. ओम निक्षुषाभद्रते नमः. ओम अब्जोद्भराय नमः. ओम श्रीदाय नमः. ओम श्रीहेतवे नमः. ओम स्तुति अर्चिताय नमः. ओम कुलाद्रपते नमः. ओम जडने नमः. ओम चन्द्रचूडाय नमः. ओम महेश्वराय नमः. ओम नागजग्ने नमः. नीतने नमः. ओम श्रीकण्ठाय नमः. ओम रामार्जितपदाय नमः. ओम रोदने नमः. ओम स्थूलकण्ठाय नमः. ओम त्रयीकन्त्रे नमः. ओम सामघोषप्रियाय नमः. ओम घोषोत्तमाय नमः. ओम स्थूलरूढाय नमः. ओम अग्रगण्याय नमः. ओम ग्रामण्ये नमः. ओम गणपाय नमः. ओम स्थिराय नमः. ओम रुद्राय नमः. ओम शुभगाय नमः. ओम वागीशाय नमः. ओम सिद्धिदाय नमः. ओम दूर्वाभिप्रियाय नमः. ओम कान्ताय नमः. ओम पापहारणे नमः. ओम कृतागमाय नमः. ओम समाहिताय नमः. वक्रतुण्डाय नमः. ओम श्रीप्रदाय नमः. ओम सौम्याय नमः. ओम भक्तकाञ्चिताय नमः. मच्युताय नमः. ओम केवलाय नमः. ओम सिद्धाय नमः. ओम सच्चिदानन्दविग्रहाय नमः. ओम गणार्णे नमः. ओम मायायुक्ताय नमः. ओम दान्ताय नमः. ओम ब्रह्मिष्ठाय नमः. ओम भयवर्जिताय नमः. ओम रमतदैतभयदाय नमः. ओम युक्तमूर्तये नमः. ओम मूर्तकाय नमः. ओम पार्वती शङ्करोत्सङ्गकैरलोत्सवदाय नमः. ओम समस्तजगदाधाराय नमः. ओम नमोभगवानाय नमः. ओम भक्तास्तुताय नमः. ओम प्रसन्नात्मने नमः. ओम सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायकाय नमः. ओम महागणाधिपतये नमः. अष्टोत्तरशतनामार्चनपूजा समर्पयामि. नमस्ते सर्वमङ्गलानि भवन्तु. आकल्पान्त वंशाभिवृद्धिरस्तु.
धूपमाग्रापयामि तस्याङ्गङ्गङ्गलाभेदं सुगन्धज्ञा सुप्नाहरम् लीपं दास्यामि देवीं गृहान्वितो भवाः धूपमाग्रापयामि आप अनाउंस कीजिए हम लोग आराम you want to do Archana?
Anybody for Archana? Well, give the name, sir.
माइक बंद कर रही
Please don't make noise. Anybody for page 27.
अमन
आती दूसरे पद बनाए हैं 2 मिनट रुकने का बना था okay. Namaskar to all of you. We just completed the Abhishekam, Alankaram and Archana to Lord Ganesha and also to Lord Balaji, and we also had a discourse today on Atma Nivedan. And I have some, before we go for Mahamangalarti, I have some announcements. Now, Purnima and Thaipusam actual celebration is actually on Thursday, that's January 28th. It will be celebrated in the temple from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we are going to have that day Abhishekam to Ambal and Shanmukha, and also Archana to, then followed by Archana and to Ambal and Shanmukha and Mahamangalarti. And go ahead and give your names so that we can include it in the in our sponsorship that day, and we can take your names. You can go to the link that has been actually circulated along with the flyer. You can click it there and put your name, Gotrams and other details, or else you can go to our website. You can do it there. and or else you can also go call up our manager Santosh, and then you can give your names. Now, what we are going to do is, since it's a weekday, so we are going to have all the religious ceremonies that day, but subsequently the actual celebration that we are going to have for Thaipusam is going to be on Sunday. That's next Sunday, January 31st, and that day we are going to have the whole celebration will be outdoors. So what we are going to do is we are going to take there is going to be a Mayur Vahana Seva, and we are going to take the Lord Subramaniam outside put him, place him in the mandapam, and we are going to have Abhishekam. First we'll have Abhishekam to Abhishekam Archana to Lord Ganesha, and followed by the Kavadi and Palakudam Seva, and then it will be followed by the Abhishekam Archana to Lord Muruga, and it will be, as I said, only for the Utsav Vigraha, and then again we'll have Mayur Vahana Seva followed by Mahamangalarti. So all those people who want to participate in Kavadi Seva or Palakudam Seva can go and click the link below, which has been actually circulated along with this Thaipusam flyer for 31st of January, that's next Sunday, or else they can alternatively call Santosh at the desk and give your names, Gotram, and pay there, or else what you can do is you can also get in touch with Arvindan Sukumar, and you can give, or Narkunan, you can give your names to them so that you can participate in the Kavadi and Palakudam Seva. We have very limited number of spaces for that, so that is why we want you to give your names much in advance. So that's the announcement for today, and I would we are going to go ahead for Mahamangalarti. So I would request all those people who are here, please be standing so that we can start Mahamangalarti. So it is on page 27 on your books. And I will not now, when we start. Okay, go ahead.
यमामृतात् सर्गमय तव सोमा ज्योतिर्मय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय
Please take the prasadam here, all those people who are standing over here. Please take the prasadam and do that.